Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, The Wealthy Mindset. It's yours truly, Money Making Mitch. And as usual guys, this is not financial advice. Please do your own due diligence and research. I'm doing two videos on a Sunday because my subscriber, Money Making Melvin, is keeping me busy with information. I do appreciate it, my brother. Money Making Melvin lives in Florida. So he sent me an article where NIO CEO says mass rollout of 150 kilowatt batteries start in June and July. But before we get into this topic, which is pretty amazing, remember I was telling you guys that Tesla had nothing to show at the Beijing Auto Show. They did nothing in terms of innovation, and that's why they were not there. And I showed you a video where one of the the guys actually spoke about that. So NIO CEO, on the other hand, was at the Beijing show because we had the most to show off. And I want you guys to take a look at this video, a little clip, and then we will discuss it a little bit and then go into the other meat of today's subject. Not that this is not the meat of the subject. This is very yummy stuff too, yummy for the tummy. Take a look, guys, and then we shall continue.
As plug-in chargers get faster, more efficient, and more widely deployed, why does NIO still invest in battery swapping?
NIO has always focused on rechargeable, replaceable, and upgradable. We are the brand with the most chargers deployed in China. We have 21,000 chargers across the country, and they are all open to public. 80% of our chargers' electricity has served other brand users. But charging cannot be as fast as swapping, right? There are many advantages of battery swapping, such as better user experience. You don't need to get out of the car. It doesn't matter if it's windy or rainy. Actually, it saves money for drivers, and also saves a lot of resources for the society. So charging and swapping are not contradictory. They are suitable for different scenarios.
Since last year, NIO has signed battery swapping agreements with well-known car companies such as Chang'an and Geely, as well as state-owned energy and power companies. Do you think it's a sign of positive acknowledgement towards your persistence on battery swapping?
Battery swapping is very suitable for Chinese users because most of China's urban families live in apartments. It's relatively difficult for them to install chargers at home. Their time costs of recharging is high. However, battery swapping can give them an experience similar to filling up a traditional gas tank. It's very convenient. Now we are building a battery swapping network, and we are very happy that our efforts have been recognized by our industry partners. They are willing to expand this battery swapping network with us, and we are thrilled to get their support. In short, the battery swapping network is getting better.
Last year, your company sold 160,000 new cars, a yearly increase of around 30%. The revenue went up, but loss also expanded. How would you turn the table in 2024?
Our revenue growth was faster than that of the entire EV market. They grew by 24.7% and we grew by 30%. Our share in the high-end market is still very stable, but it is undeniable that we invested a relatively large amount in research and development last year, 13.4 billion yuan. We also invested a lot in infrastructure. In 2023, we built more than 1,000 battery swapping stations. With all these investments, plus the fierce competition in the market, there was still a gap between our gross profit and our expectations. We faced a loss. However, with the gradual release of our new products and the steady improvement of our gross profit margin, we believe that the loss will definitely narrow in the long run. We do have a very clear goal of making profit. We have a very clear route for that.
Alright guys, welcome back. So, I hope you found that video to be very exciting. You see, this is why, again I said it, why you should do your own due diligence and research. So that when you notice the trolls are falling off the channel now, right? Because Tesla is being battered and they're going to go bankrupt. I showed how the CEO Elon Musk tried to cash out hundreds of billions of dollars and was blocked by a Delaware judge. I showed how Baldy, one of their top engineers, quit and sold over $141 million worth of his shares. They are jumping ship because they understand what's happening. And the reason for that is, in the EV industry, if you don't continuously spend money on research and development and have the best of the best engineers, you're not going to succeed in this business. This is not a gas guzzling car. This is a computer, and I said it many times before. But anyway, so let's talk about what William Li just said. Emperor William Li, excuse me. NIO CEO, charging and battery. He said it's chargeable, upgradable, and replaceable. So he spoke about, and let's touch on the replaceable aspect. We know it's chargeable, we know it's upgradable. So for example, if you're going on a long trip and you have a 60 kilowatt hour battery and you want to upgrade to go see a family. But how about replaceable? You see, Money Making Melvin, my subscriber, is a mechanic in Florida, and he said the cost of replacing a Tesla battery is astronomical, because it's not like ours where it can easily be removed and replaced. So this is a huge factor again into why Emperor Li thought about everything. The man is a visionary, he's a genius. So if a battery is damaged, it can easily be replaced. The cost of replacing it, this is one of the reasons why Hertz is skyrocketing towards bankruptcy. I don't think they're going to go bankrupt. I'm not sure, I shouldn't say that, but they're taking a huge beating, and a lot of it is because of the mistake they made by buying Tesla's Model 3s. No one wanted them, right? And it's because of that cost that they were talking about, the maintenance cost of these of the Model 3s and Teslas on a whole. So this is one of the main things I took out of just that little statement he made, replaceable. He says also most of the family live in apartments. Most of Chinese family live in apartments, and the charging cost is high for charging, right, for electricity. And I spoke about this early on, maybe a year ago, that guys, hold on, have diamond hands, because look at the different scenarios. Once you look at it, use the knowledge as power and never let no one shake you. It's just a matter of time. It takes time to get there, right? And we dominated the high-end market in China, and we're going to dominate the low-end market. Remember, I said this. The people who live in apartments are still using gas cars. Of course, we also saw the government just roll out another incentive yet again. And we're going to get into that. Probably not in this video, but we're going to get into that. It's a huge incentive yet again for rebates for people who want to buy electric cars. And everything is being timed perfectly by Emperor Li. Just in time for the Onvo brand, they're rolling this out. People who live in apartments, the people who can afford our high-end brands already bought them for the battery swapping. Now with the Onvo, what do you all think will happen? And I said this before. So Emperor Li touched on that, as you saw in the video. People who live in apartments, the charging fees are very high for them, electricity. So the option is here for you now, my dear lads. You have battery as a service coming for you with Onvo. And he also spoke on battery as a service is getting better with partnerships. So one of the things he meant by that is it's going to cost us less to roll out these battery swap stations, and they're going to be rolling out in a massive way. They said 1,000. I believe it's going to be way more than 1,000 because of all the other partnerships that are joining as we go on week after week, month after month. So revenue growth was higher than the entire EV market. 24, I think it was 30% when the guy asked him about our revenue growth. And he says, we spent 13.4 billion yuan in R&D, and we see why now, right? So yes, we're not yet profitable, but Emperor Li says we have a perfect vision and a plan for where we're going and how we're going to become profitable. Because we don't want to rush to quick profitability like Tesla did and crash, and they're going to go crumble and go bankrupt. We're building an empire that will be sustainable. It will take us not as long as Tesla to become profitable, but it will take us a while to become profitable because of what we're building out. So he says we have a very clear goal of making profit and becoming profitable. Also, NIO CEO says mass rollout of 150 kilowatt batteries start in June and July. And again, a lot of people are saying, man, it takes NIO so long to implement something. Well, you see, we don't want it to be like the stainless steel encampment that was a total disaster. We don't want it to be like the Model 3 that parts isn't even lined up properly and falling apart. At an event held at a NIO factory on Saturday in Hefei, China, CEO William Li announced the timeline for the rollout of the 150 kilowatt batteries capable of providing over 1,000 kilometers on a single charge. Li mentioned that the initial phase of integration into battery swap stations across China will commence by the end of the month, adding that a larger scale rollout is scheduled to begin in June and July. So what does that mean for us, guys? Woo! You see, just in time for summer vacations, the Chinese are going on vacations again, and they're going to need longer range batteries. Here we have it for you for an extra fee for the day, for 2 days, for a week or whatever. You can have it, my dear lads. So you see, that's why I say by the end of this year, I believe we're going to be profitable or very close to it. Following its initial announcement in January 2021 and several days later, NIO started the production of the ultra long-range battery in early April and will now become available to the first NIO owners in China. NIO's 150 watt kilowatt battery will begin trial operation at the battery swap stations on April 28, adding that small scale will start by the end of the month and large-scale volume in June and July, William Li said per the automotive blogger as shared by the automotive blogger. More than 100 of car owners attended the event earlier today to test drive the revamped NIO ET7 and learn more about the products and technologies of the Shanghai-based manufacturer at NIO's largest showroom globally with 3,000 square meters. As of today, NIO has 2,405 battery swap stations. Yes, it went up again. In China, having provided a total of 42.9 plus million swaps since 2018. So remember, they were laughing at our battery swaps. Oh, it's a waste. And now Ample, that cheap nonsense in America, is trying to compete, and they can't. It's a plastic looking thing without LiDAR, without safety features for when the car is backing in. You cannot go into an Ample remote like our cars can go while you sleep. And guys, I'm truly excited. I said it. As Tesla continues to crumple and had nothing to show at the Beijing show, we're getting so much recognition yet again. You see all the reporters around our emperor. He gets more reporters than politicians do now because the tide has finally changed. Yes, you heard it right. China has reached a pivotal moment where 50% of their cars were EVs being bought is EVs. Yes. And our NIO coming out with our Envo, we're so excited. We're going to kill the Model Y completely. So Tesla sales, when Envo is finally unleashed in mass production in, let's say, November, December, Tesla will be selling about 50 cars in China. I hope you guys found this video to be informational, inspirational, motivational. If so, guys, don't forget to hit that thumbs up. If you haven't yet subscribed, you might want to think about doing so, because in this channel, we have that warrior mindset trying to wake up the middle class to get a piece of the pie. You see, it's a game and they've been suppressing us for a long time. And we have learned how to play the game when they were lying, spreading propaganda, talking about China economy slowing down, talking about NIO is cash burning. I would be careful. Even one YouTuber put out a video showing Jimmy Hat Kramer, that propagandist, when he was saying NIO is a buy, NIO is not a buy, NIO is a buy, NIO is not a buy. His last thing was NIO is a sell, do not buy it. I wouldn't buy it, he said, knowing fully well we're getting ready to go up. So he convinced a lot more people again to sell. And this is sadly the way the game is played, and those people are going to stay poor and die poor because they don't have access to information like what I'm giving you guys. So we're waking up the middle class, and like 50 said, we get rich or we die trying, guys.